Good morning, students. Last class we have discussed about the immunity, definitions of the immunity and types of immunity. Today we have to discuss in detail about the classification of the immunity, that is adaptive immunity and innate immunity and its mechanisms, how it will be taking place in the body. Then coming to the classification of immune system. Broadly, it was classified into the two types, that is acquired or adaptive immunity or innate immunity. This adaptive immunity again it was divided into the natural and artificial. Natural again it was subdivided into the two types, natural passive and active immunity, then artificial passive and artificial active immunity. Then coming to the innate immunity. Innate means by birth we are getting the immunity from the mother to the baby. This immunity we will call it as innate immunity. It is the non-specific immunity. Is the natural resistance with which a person is born. That means by birth onwards they will get the from mother to the baby that immunity through the placenta. It provides resistances through several physical, chemical, and cellular approaches. Microbes first encounter the epithelial layers, physical barriers that line skin and mucous membranes. That means while the microbes they want to enter into the body means they have to uh, encounter through the epithelial layers. As I earlier said, if there is the person is having intact skin and mucous membranes, there is no chance of entering of the microorganisms. So this is skin, it will protect the persons and mucous membranes, uh, protect the person by preventing entering of the microorganisms. Subsequent general defenses include secreted chemical signals and cytokines, antimicrobial substances, fever and phagocytic activity of the white blood cells, and inflammatory responses. This all will help the person to defend against the microorganisms or infection causing agents. The phagocytes express cell surface receptors that can bind and respond to common molecular patterns expressed on the surface of invading microbes. Through these approaches, innate immunity can prevent the colonization, entry, and spread of the microbes in the body. White blood cells engulf a microbe, then fuses with a lysosome to destroy the microbe. There are different types of the phagocytic cells. Neutrophils engulf and destroy the microbes. Macrophages are part of the lymphatic system and are found throughout the body. Eosinophils discharge destructive enzymes. Dendritic cells stimulate development of the acquired immunity. Then antimicrobial peptides and proteins. Peptides and proteins function in innate defense by attacking microbes directly or impeding their reproduction. Interferon proteins provide innate defense against viruses and help activate macrophages. About 30 proteins make up the complement system, which causes lysis of invading cells and helps trigger inflammation. These are all the glands, as you have seen already. It was involving in the production of the immune cells. Then inflammatory responses. Following an injury, mast cells release histamine, which promotes changes in blood vessels. This is part of the inflammatory response. These changes increase local blood supply and allow more phagocytes and antimicrobial proteins to enter tissues. Pass a fluid-reaching white blood cells, dead microbes and cell debris accumulates at the site of inflammation. This is the mechanism of uh, development of the inflammatory reactions. Then coming to the acquired immunity or adaptive immunity. This adaptive immunity or specific immunity subdivided into two major types depending on how the immunity was introduced. That is naturally acquired immunity occurs through contact with a disease causing agent when the contact was not deliberate. It means due to exposure to the infection, they will naturally develop the immunity in the body. Then artificially acquired immunity develops only through deliberate actions such as vaccination and antibody transfer. By taking the vaccines artificially, you will get the immunity, and also by transferring the immune bodies to the person who is having the less immunity, also they will acquire the immunity. Then memory cells are also produced in active immunity. Protection for active immunity is permanent, whereas in passive immunity it is only temporary present. Antigens are only encountered in active immunity. Active immunity takes several weeks to become active, but passive is immediate. Then natural acquired immunity. It was subdivided into the naturally acquired active immunity and naturally acquired passive immunity. Then coming to the naturally acquired active immunity occurs when a person is exposed to a live pathogen and develops a primary immune response which leads to immunological memory. This type of immunity is natural because it is not induced by deliberate exposure. Many disorders of immune system function can affect the formation of active immunity and such as immunodeficiency and immunosuppression. Naturally acquired passive immunity. Maternal passive immunity is a type of naturally acquired passive immunity and refers to antibody mediated immunity conveyed to a fetus by its mother during pregnancy through placenta. IgG is the only antibody isotype that can pass through the placenta. Passive immunity is also provided through the transfer of IgA antibodies found in breast milk that are transferred to the gut of the infant, protecting against bacterial infections until the newborn can synthesize its own antibodies. Then artificial acquired immunity. Artificially acquired active immunity can be induced by a vaccine, a substance that contains antigen. A vaccine stimulates a primary response against the antigen without causing symptoms of the disease. Artificially acquired passive immunity is a short-term immunization induced by the transfer of antibodies which can be administered in several forms as human or animal blood placenta, as pooled human immunoglobulin for intravenous or intramuscular use, and in the form of monoclonal antibodies. Passive transfer is used prophylactically in the case of immunodeficiency disease such as hypogammaglobulinemia. It is also used in the treatment of several types of acute infection and to treat poisoning. Immunity derived from passive immunization lasts for only a short period of time, and there is also a potential risk for hypersensitivity reactions and serum sickness, especially from gamma globulin of non-human origin. In acquired immunity, lymphocytes receptors provide pathogen-specific recognition. Here, white blood cells called lymphocytes recognize and respond to antigens foreign molecules. Lymphocytes that mature in the thymus above the heart are called T lymphocytes, and those that mature in the bone marrow are called B lymphocytes. Lymphocytes contribute to immunological memory and enhanced response to a foreign molecule encountered previously. Cytokines are secreted by macrophages and dendritic cells to recruit and activate lymphocytes. The acquired immunity system has three important properties: receptor diversity, a lack of reactivity against host cells, immunological memory. Acquired immunity, an overview. B cells and T cells have receptor proteins that can bind to foreign molecules. Each individual lymphocyte is specialized to recognize a specific type of molecule. All antigen receptors on a single lymphocyte recognize the same epitope or antigenic determinant on an antigen. B cells give rise to plasma cells which secrete proteins called antibodies or immunoglobulins. These are all the structure of the antibodies. This cytoplasm of B cells, it will have the two chains, light chain and heavy chain. and these both chains combinedly it will form a antigen binding sites. Okay, then cytoplasm of the T cell it will have the two chains, alpha chain and beta chain, and antigen binding site. These are all the B cell and receptors and antibodies and T cell receptors. These are all the antibodies. It was attaching to the antigens in the receptor sites. The antigen receptors of B cells. B cell receptors bind to specific intact antigens. The B cell receptors consist of two identical heavy chains and two identical light chains. The tips of the chains form a constant C region, and each chain contains a variable region, so named because its amino acid sequence varies extensively from one B cell to the another. Secreted antibodies or immunoglobulins are structurally similar to B cell receptors but lack transmembrane regions that anchor receptor in the plasma membrane. The antigen receptors of the T cells. Each T cell receptor consists of two different polypeptide chains. The tips of the chain from a variable region, the rest is a constant region. T cell can bind to an antigen that is free or on the surface of the pathogen. T cell bind to antigen fragments presented on a host cell. These antigen fragments are bound to cell surface proteins called MHC molecules. MHC molecules are so named because they are encoded by a family of genes called the major histocompatibility complex. The role of the major histocompatibility complex, that is MHC molecules. In infected cells, MHC molecules bind and transport antigen fragments to the cell surface, a process called antigen presentation. A nearby T cell can then detect the antigen fragment displayed on the cell surface. Depending on their source, peptide antigens are handled by different class of MHC molecules. Class 1 MHC molecules are found on almost all nucleated cells of the body. They display peptide antigens to cytotoxic T cells. Class 2 MHC molecules are located mainly on dendritic cells, macrophages, and B cells. Dendritic cells, macrophages, and B cells are antigen presenting cells that display antigens to cytotoxic T cells and helper T cells. This is the mechanism of uh, uh, killing the cells, infected cells by the cytotoxic cells and helper T cells. That is the way of phagocytosis and killing of the infected cells. Then amplifying lymphocytes by clonal selection. In the body, there are few lymphocytes with antigen receptors for any particular epitope. The binding of a mature lymphocytes to an antigen induces the lymphocyte to divide rapidly. This proliferation of lymphocytes is called clonal selection. Two types of clones are produced: short-lived activated effector cells and long-lived memory cells. These are all the clones of memory cells, clone of plasma cells. Immune response. The first exposure to a specific antigen represents the primary immune response. During this time, effector B cells called plasma cells are generated and T cells are activated to their um, effector forms. In the secondary immune response, memory cells facilitate a faster, more efficient response. And this is the graph showing the primary immune response to antigens and secondary immune responses, how it was taking place. Acquired immunity depends against infection of body cells and fluids. Acquired immunity has two branches: the humoral immune response and cell-mediated immune response. Humoral immune response involves activation and clonal selection of B cells resulting in production of secreted antibodies. Then cell-mediated immune response involves activation and clonal selection of cytotoxic T cells, helper T cells, aid both responses. This is the um, mechanism of humoral immune response and cell-mediated immune responses. In these humoral immune responses, at first exposure to the antigen, um, it will stimulate the antigen presenting cells to engulf by the helper T cells and cytotoxic T cells and B cells. Then it will um, gives rise to memory cells, production of the memory cells and helper T cells and plasma cells. This all will secrete the antibodies and it will depend against the extracellular pathogens binding to antigens, thereby neutralizing the pathogens or making them to a better target for phagocytosis and complement proteins. Okay, by activation of the cytotoxic T cells after identification of the antigen, this will also depend against the intracellular pathogens and cancer cells by binding and also lysing the infected cells and cancer cells. This is the humoral immune response. Um, After the identification of the antigen or exposure to the antigens, uh, and it will give rise to engulfed by the antigen presenting cells. This antigen presenting cells stimulates the helper T cells and memory cells and B cells for to produce the antibodies, and it will defend against the extracellular pathogens. This is the process of cell mediated response after exposing to the antigens. Here helper T cells and cytotoxic T cells and memory cells all together, they will secrete the antibodies and defend against the extracellular pathogens. The helper cells responds to nearly all antigens. A surface protein called CD4 binds the class II MHC molecules. This binding keeps the helper T cells joined to the antigen presenting cell while activation occurs. Activated helper T cells secrete cytokines that stimulate other lymphocytes. This is the mechanism of releasing of the cytokines and attacking to the antigen presenting cells and killing of the infected cells. Then cytotoxic T cells, a response to infected cells. Cytotoxic T cells are the effector cells in cell mediated immune response. Cytotoxic T cells make CD8 a surface protein that greatly enhances interaction between a target cell and a cytotoxic T cell. Binding to a class 4 1 MHC complex on an infected cell activates a cytotoxic T cell and makes it an active killer. The activated cytotoxic T cell secretes proteins that destroy the infected target cells.